Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday evening and I'm in the calving shed at the minute. As you can see, we have a damp ground here. It's not from disinfectant. We didn't get to disinfect the shed today as it started to rain and the floor got fairly wet. It was dry first thing this morning, but I had another job on this morning until about 11 o'clock and had to go and do that. So it meant that the plan was to disinfect and lime this in the afternoon, and yeah, was going to make a second part of the getting ready for the calving video, but there's a couple of the cows had other plans. We had 2 cows and calves. Came home at shortly after 11 and yeah, discovered one of these had calved. Yeah, it was actually, we have the 2 cows here now and they're just penned off here in this shed. It was actually the other girl who had calved first. This one here was the second one to calve. This one here is a beautiful heifer calf. Yeah, both calved on their own, no issues at all, and both had actually drank some milk before we had actually seen them. So nice start to the calving, nice surprise today. As I said, we're not really due to start calving for about 2 weeks, but you can always have ones maybe that calve a little bit early. We moved a couple of cows around yesterday. There was 8 cows per pen here, and we usually have, well, we've had 10 per pen, but it is a little tight. So the last couple of years we've just kept it at 9 per pen, and fairly manageable, plenty of room for them all to lie down and plenty of room for them to move about. But there was 2 heifers that were late enough calvers last year. We had put them with the bull a little bit later than the cows, and they were a little bit down in condition, and they were in here. So what we done was took them out and put them down in the bottom shed with the other heifers that are getting a little bit of meal, and that'll getting a little bit of meal that'll help to bring their condition up. They're not due to calve, as I say, for about 2.5 months, so they'll be able to spend a month or so down there and improve body condition a little bit. You can see these girls are starting to lick now. These weren't done for lice yet, so that's another job that's on the cards. But yeah, so we took 2 out, and we ended up taking then 5 cows up from the new shed, from the pen down there, because they were a little bit tight in that pen. So took the 5 up, and it left us with 9 then in each of these 3 pens. But when we took them up, there was a little bit of a scuffle and a couple of little bits of fights breaking out with the cows, as they do when there was some new cows introduced. These cows spend the whole summer together. They're split up for a couple of months, and when they meet again, then they're going to kill each other. So, well, it's not that bad, but there was a little bit of fighting and aggro and the usual as when you mix cattle. And I'd say that's what probably caused these two girls to calve a little bit early. It probably just brought on the labour, if you like. But yeah, all's well that ends well. They've all settled down now, as you can see. There's no fighting or aggro. They're all friends again. And look, it's just the way animals are. But yeah, so nice surprise to come to. So we'll have a little look at the other calf as well. It's a bull and heifer calf that was born, and both are out at the Charlie bull. So yeah, very happy. Both have been drinking numerous times today, and nice and warm and settled. So always nice to see that. This here is very good cow. So she's one of the shorthorn bred cows, and always has a very nice calf. Not usually one of the first to calve, but that can change, I suppose, year on year, depending on how quick they go back and calve. But yeah, very good condition on it. It's probably hard just to see with the wide angle lens. But yeah, we'll just have a quick look at the other calf now. Yeah, so just before we go in, you can see we haven't made up the other pen here. We've got 4 holding pens at the front. Anybody who was watching me last year during our calving season will remember that we have 4 pens, but we've only made up this one at the front. We haven't made up the 2 at the front. The reason for that is I'm not expecting of many more calves over the next week or so. Now they could make it an absolute layer of me, and there could be another one tomorrow, but I'm not expecting of any more calves in the next week. But we'll just have to see. We'll keep a tight eye on them anyway. But anyway, yeah, that's one of the reasons we haven't made it up yet. Now it's very easy to make up. You can make it up in 5 minutes. But the second reason then that didn't make it up is it gives us somewhere to leave some of this stuff here. You can see there's wheelbarrow, brush, shovel, 3-prong silage fork, a bit of hay, the likes of a few buckets, a barrel full of bull nuts for the new bull in the back, and then we have our box of tricks here. It's all the bits and pieces for calving, the likes of gloves, iodine, there's some booster for calves. We'll have the likes of the tags, the taggers later on will be in it. When we start administering the tablets then for protection against the scour or crypto, they're in there as well. You know, it's just somewhere that we can keep all the likes of that stuff. And it's easy then, very easy to lift it. You can grab it and take it with you or whatever you want to do. So that's the main reason why we haven't made that up. It gives us somewhere to leave that stuff. Because when that's made up and it's closed off, we end up having to leave it either here inside the door along the front, and the cows can end up playing or messing with it, or you have to leave it along the wall and move it in and out every day. So that's another reason. And there's actually a third reason. It's easier to feed the animals in the back when this is clear. You can fill the wheelbarrow with silage, wheel it over, tip it out, or you can open this gate here and just wheel straight in and tip out then in the back for the bulls in the back. So it just leaves it fairly easy. And finally, now we're in with the second calf. This is actually the bull calf. You can see he's asleep, so we'll try not to disturb him. He has drank about 15 minutes ago, so it's now sleepy time. When we found him earlier, he'd already drank the cow. He is smaller than the heifer now. He's probably a little bit more premature than the heifer. But in saying that, he's all there, and he's a tough little guy. As I say, he drank earlier on his own, and when we found him, he was up and standing. We moved him out into the feeding passage, and when we got into the feeding passage, he kind of buck-lapped up and down, run up and down it a few times. So he was in good form. But yeah, he fed, as I say, about 15 minutes ago, and it's now time for a little rest. The cow she's a short-horn bred cow as well. She's probably now, I'd say she's around 7 or 8 years old. She's had a calf every year, and this is it would be, she'd be about 7 or 8 years old. I'm just trying to think. She's one of the last batch of shorthorns that we got. But yeah, it's a good cow, good temperament, good milk. We've a lot of shorthorn cows still, and they're all fairly good temperament overall. There is one or two of them they're a little excitable, let's say, but as a rule they have a very good temperament. So yeah, that's it. It's always nice to see the calf sleeping and relaxing, and when everything's going well. So yeah. Yeah, the new bull, he's well settled in now. He's not as excitable as he was. You can see he's quite inquisitive to see what's going on. He's very happy to have all the cows around him as well. His buddy in the corner with the sore shoulder, he was in a little bit of pain earlier, so we give him a painkilling injection. We have there's not really much more we can do with him at the minute. He'll be a long-term healing project as such, but once he stays alive, he will heal up. You'll probably not really see a major improvement in him until he gets outside. So But yeah, we'll just keep an eye on them and keep moving in the right direction. But yeah, that's really it. So after quite a busy day with the cove ball of 2 calves that we weren't expecting, and having to set up the shed on short notice, it kept us on our toes, I have to say, but that's it. It's all part of the farming, isn't it? So that's really it. As always, if you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but I'll try to keep the daily videos going for the next couple of days. I'm away on Friday, so I'll not be able to make any videos on Friday, but yeah, try and keep the daily videos going tomorrow and Thursday. So that's really it. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.